I'm back. Today, I'm going to be giving a presentation on my second playthrough of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, in general, just how it goes, and kind of give some of my thoughts on the game. Now, compared to my last video, I'm in a different location. I moved back to my parents' house for the winter break, and it's very hot and stuffy in here. I had to turn all the fans off because in the audio, the microphone was picking all of that up, and I'm too lazy to fiddle with software to figure out how to remove that. So I just turned all that off. So hopefully, I don't boil to death halfway through this. Another thing is that this is indeed a PowerPoint presentation. I would put gameplay in the background, or I'd just record myself playing the game and talk over it and give my thoughts on, the game, obviously, or live stream it. That seems like it could be fun. I'd love to do those things, but I can't because my laptop is not good enough to do that. It's barely good enough to run the game on low settings, the lowest settings. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. So, hopefully, I don't get interrupted. I tried to record this like 2 days ago, but my dog, oh, other side, just back there, you can see him. My dog Flint, he kept getting very, very irritated, and he wanted to go outside all the time. So, but this time, he's mellowed out. He's kind of laying back there. He's taking a little nap. So we'll be able to record this, and you can listen to me talk about this game for the next however long this takes. I should note that it's just going to be me talking. The PowerPoint slides are not exciting. It's just text. You can listen to this while you do other things, or if you really want to, you can stare at me in the bottom left-hand corner, if you really want to do that. Okay, so without further ado, let's move on. So, yes, this is my Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous second playthrough presentation. And just down here, I've got one of my favorite Dayren quotes. Smile. The world's not ending just yet. I really like that quote. Let's move on. Okay, so what did I do in my second playthrough, which I ended about 3 or 4 days ago? Maybe 5. I don't remember. But it was mostly chaotic, evil-leaning playthrough. I went through the full Trickster mythic path. I played a 1 to 20 mutation warrior fighter who used a great sword and crit fished. And I know the great sword is not technically the best thing for crit fishing. I know it's probably a scythe and use wide sweep for half the game, and then whatever. And I know. Okay, I know. But I really wanted a guy, with a big sword. What can I say? I know also that Mutation Warrior is better as a 4-level dip than it is as a full, 1 to 20, if you want to min-max and all that. But I just played on Daring. I didn't play on, I just played the difficulty 1 above normal. And I pretty easily, there were some difficult parts. But I basically curb stomped the whole game. But we'll get a little more specific on my thoughts on the Trickster Mythic Path when we get to that slide. I also did part of the Camellia Romance, and it is pronounced Camellia because I just started playing through the game again, third playthrough. I just started playing through the game again, and when she introduces herself in that rift created by Dascari's rift breaker thing, Scythe, she pronounces her name as Camellia, not Camellia. So I was incorrect in my pronunciation in my truth bomb of a tier list, which I will, spoilers, I guess, light spoilers, which I will have to adjust now that I think about it. I probably should have done that and put like a slide at the end, which is my new tier list. And I did do the full Windwalk Romance, and of course we will get more into my thoughts on that in a bit. I'm going to lower my chair. There we go. All right. So, my party composition for the entire game consisted of Windwog, with a dual thrown hand axe build that I found somewhere online. I don't remember who made it. Camellia, 1 to 20 spirit warrior. She did a great job at all the things Camellia does. I just caught a mosquito. Um, I can't get too into the builds. Ninio Wizard, just cast Phantasmal Killer and killed shit, and Haste. That was her job. She casted Haste and Phantasmal Killer in like Pit now and then. And just general support stuff like that. Ember, 1 to 20 Witch, or no, not 1 to 20 Witch. I think 1 to 18 Witch, 2 levels in Shurganus, the Alchemist subclass Shurganus or whatever. At level 2, you get the mutagen, or not the mutagen, but the cognitigen, whatever. Where you drink it gives her a +4 bonus to charisma. Took that. And she just casted Glitter Dust and Protective Luck and Fortune the whole game and cackled. And she was very useful as a support character. Daeron, of course, the best healer, better than Social. Social's fine as a character, but Daeron is just absolutely dripping with personality, and he really fit in with the Trickster playthrough. And, of course, the commander. Now, you'll notice that in my party composition, it's a bunch of evils, neutrals, and chaotics. Aside from Ember, who's the only good person in the squad. And that was because I feel like I didn't really play enough with Ember on my first playthrough. And I just wanted to play through, more with her. If I wanted to, I probably could have swapped her out for another archer and probably killed things a bit faster. Or a frontline fighter. I probably could have done Regal. Probably should have done Regal because he's very entertaining. And I did get the secret ending. So if you don't want to have the secret ending spoiled for you, maybe don't watch this video. But I'll share more of my thoughts on that. And I also did the entirety of the Nenio questline, which I didn't do on my first playthrough, and I have some thoughts I'd like to share on that. I don't actually know what my next slide is, so we're about to find out. Okay, it was Nenio's questline. So I see what they were going for with Nenio's questline of, I think the masks is a bit. I should have put this later towards the end because it's hard to think of something to say here. This is something I definitely should have formulated my thoughts a bit more about. But I already hit the record button, so baby, we're just on the roller coaster. Enjoy the ride. So I did not like the puzzles. I especially did not like the final dungeon. If you've played through Nenio's questline, you know what I'm talking about, and you know precisely why I don't like it. It's because it's fucking annoying, and you have no idea where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do the entire time. At least for me. I followed a guide. I gave up. After literally 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I guess I could. If I wanted to, I could have sat down for like 3 days, as I've seen some people online report that, they've done that. They had to sit for 3 days and just figure out all the puzzles and shit. I could have sat down and done that. I didn't want to because it was kind of a waste of time. So I didn't care for that. However, I do think that the actual plot, the thing you discover at the end of her quest line, is really interesting, and I'm frankly not entirely sure if I understand it. So, from what I understand, Nenio is kind of like nothing, a personified nothing, a nothing that is, sorry if I'm rubbing my glasses into the camera, a nothing that is kind of like taken the form of a kitsune, or the god, I don't remember the name, Lamashtu, I think, I don't remember. But the god of nothing, or whatever the fuck, one of her its followers was a kitsune woman from Gia, whatever, that continent, somewhere on the planet. Came all the way there and blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. And somehow Ninio is nothing. I don't know. I don't entirely get it. I didn't expect it. I didn't see that coming. I knew that, the memory thing wasn't just like, her memory thing of like, just forgetting she's drunk or whatever, which is pretty funny, or just forgetting things in the middle of conversations. Um, uh, I knew that had to actually be something, and I like the twist. I just, you know, and I as I wrote here, I do think that the quest line fits her character. She is someone who's obsessed with like puzzles and figuring things out, and writing her Encyclopedia Glorionica, and I think that's all fun. It's really good. She's a fun character. I just wish that throughout the game she had actual character development, aside from, lady finds out she's nothing. Even Greybore, who's, I've read the threads. People don't like Greybore. A lot of people really don't like Greybore and feel he has a lack of character development. He has more character development than Ninio does, I think. Although there is like a little bit of character development in Ninio. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say there's none. She does call you a friend. I think she calls you by your name. She doesn't just call you boy or girl, I guess, if you're a girl, if you played a female character. She doesn't just call you like a, boy, girl. She will call you by your name one time and then say, don't tell anyone I did that. It's unbecoming of a scientist. So there's a little bit of funny character development there, good moments, but even Greybore had more character development than her. Which, that's a whole other discussion. I don't want to get too bogged down in the weeds there. We're already 12 minutes in, and I'm on the fucking third slide. The first slide was a title slide, so let's move on. Ninio isn't even really what I want to talk about. We're going to talk now about something I actually kind of want to talk about a bit more, the Trickster Mythic Path. Coming from the Azada Mythic Path, which had a lot of fun content, a lot of fun things to do, a lot of fun NPCs, I was very disappointed and let down with the Trickster Mythic Path, at least in terms of content. Because with the Azada Mythic Path, you've got, the magic, the friendship fucking floating island, which is pretty cool. You've got, like Kel 5 Knives. You've got just the whole Freedom Squad shit. You got Treants and the, what is it? Oh, shit. The Mimics, right? You got like Sir Cultist Bed or whatever. There's really good stuff there with the Azada Mythic Path, and I feel like the Trickster Mythic Path should have had a lot more of that. But mostly it's just stuff relegated to like the council. There are some moments throughout the story where you'll have an option available just to you because you're a trickster. But a lot of those things are, kind of small. At least I felt like I could be, maybe I did miss some things, and if I did, and you're, one of the 5 people watching this far, do let me know if there are some really good moments with the Trickster that maybe I'm just forgetting. It's been a few days since I, finished the game, and I didn't write down every single thing. I just took vague notes throughout the game. There were good moments with the council. I like that you can, when you first meet the council, you can go around and say, like, this person said that about you. They don't believe you. This person's just here for the money. That stuff is really good and funny. Sakoth Banoth is all right. I thought we were going to have to kill Sakoth Banoth, but you don't. Unfortunately, I think that would be pretty fun to kill that guy. The King Thaberdin stuff is really good. I'll give them that. Every time I went to the inn, there's just a table of, drunkards and there's a hog on the floor, unconscious, right next to where like Arushale would stand. And I did do the Arushale quest, even though I wasn't doing the romance stuff, because, you need the XP. It was kind of funny, like, that we're having this really emotional, intense conversation about, like, her, seeing the, the light of life and like figuring out what it means to be mortal and stuff. Oh my gosh, hello. Hi. Would you like to come in? Okay. Sorry, we've been interrupted. Hello. Hi. It is so. Whoa. Whoa. It's good to see you. I'm in the middle of something. Can you? Okay. Yes, it is very exciting to see you. Can you go? Go on. I gotta close my. Sorry about that. That was my dog, Abby. One of my other dogs, Abby. My parents just let them in from the backyard. What was I talking about? Fuck. Oh, god damn it. Is something... Do you want... he wants out of the room. Go on. In less than 5 minutes, he's going to be scratching to get back in, I bet. Okay. King Fabric. Oh, right. As you're having this emotional talk with Arushale about like what it means to be mortal and like have friends, and she's kind of like figuring out what emotions are, and stuff like that. You know, you're like delving into her dream, and like 5 feet away is King Thaberdeen, and he's, you know, he hasn't been sober since he was born, like. And, you know, the whole squad, they're all, like, drunk partying over there. That's funny. That's some pretty funny stuff. The final Trickster quest was really good. I really liked that. I thought that was a lot of fun. It was more engaging than the... I'll give it that. More engaging than the final Azada Mythic quest. With the Azada Mythic quest, it's just, like, you show up to... excuse me. You show up to, you know, your Freedom Island. And then you just kill Early Sunset or whatever. I don't remember the guy's name. And then you just kill him. And that's it. And like, there's no other Azada stuff. There's just no more quests after that. But with the Trickster Mythic Path, you like go into Nocticula's, bed chamber, and then you kill her lover, and you like, you know, prank it up. You like, you know, mess with her clothes and her rug and like all her shit. And that stuff's a lot of fun. That was really, really good. Seeing Nocticula in a pink dress, it made it all worth it. It made it all, the whole thing was worth it. And then we killed the shit out of her. Apparently, this is like that fight with Nocticula in the council chamber. After you kill her lover and then, you know, prank her with the fucking the clothes. Apparently that's one of the hardest fights in the entire game. I read a lot online of people saying that this fight was, you know, absurdly difficult, really hard, and they were married to their F8 key. You know, they were just smashing that F8 key over and over again to redo it, to reload. That was not my experience at all. My experience was the council doing a lot of decent damage to her, distracting her, Sakothbanoth running up with a quarterstaff and keeping her busy, as my mutation warrior fighter ran up with a greatsword and like crit her 4 times in a row, and then she fucking died. Like, that was my experience with it, although I heard a lot, as I said, I heard a lot of people had a lot of trouble with that fight. But still, it was really good. Oh shoot, there was something I wanted to mention. Okay, right, before moving on to Drunken Evia, the music. The Trickster Mythic Path song is good, and I think it is really fitting to the Trickster Mythic Path. I gotta hand it to the Azada theme. I think the Azada theme's like better, or at least I like it more. But I found a lot of moments in the game as you're walking around Dresden and you're talking with NPCs and you're completing, you know, serious quests and you're having serious conversations or whatever. A lot of those moments are very immersion broke. The immersion is broken when you hear, you know, the Trickster Mythic Path song. And if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. And imagine you're in the middle of a very serious conversation and that song starts playing. It's a little immersion breaking, I'll say. But Drunken Evia is really good. the after you reclaim Dresden at the beginning of chapter 5, end of chapter 4, Anevia comes and gives you a status report, and she's drunk as fuck. There's people talking loud in my house. Anevia comes, she gives you a status report, and she's super drunk. She's like wasted. And she says there's not like a sober person left in the city. And I thought that was really funny. I do have more thoughts on the Trickster Mythic Path, but I'm just trying to keep it general, a little more general here. Every one of these points could probably be a 5-minute, 10-minute discussion. This whole slide could take an hour if you really want to get granular. But I kind of want to keep things moving and just go through the whole thing. Maybe in another day I'll make another PowerPoint presentation about whatever. We'll see. So next is the Camellia Romance. This was really good. I'm excited about this. Is like I didn't know there was so much content for the Camellia Romance. I thought it was just like a little thing. Like, you can have sex over the dead body and like that's it. And I thought that ended it. No, there's more. One thing I did notice as I brought Camellia around is that she's always licking her fucking lips. She's licking her lips all the fucking time, nervously licking her lips, or just like, erotically, I suppose. I don't know. But she's always licking her lips. If you play the game, now you'll notice she's always licking her lips. Just like, take a shot every time you're playing the game and you notice she's drinking her lips. You'll be dead in 20 minutes or something. If you're going through a dense dialogue moment. I didn't write it down in this slide, but when you play through the game again for the second time, you start to notice a lot of things, like the bodies she's standing over when you find her, or the body she's standing over when you find her, when you fall down the rift and you first meet Sela, and then you meet Camellia, and Camellia is standing over a body, and Sela comments that the body. The injuries could not have just been sustained from the fall. And Camellia is standing over that body. And she's like, oh, we should be careful. You put 2 and 2 together, she mutilated that guy. And there's a lot of good little moments like that throughout the game. Like when you, during the gargoyle attack during chapter 2, right before you go to Lost Chapel. Once again, she's standing over some guy's body, and she just kind of distracts you from it, and it's just like, you can ask, what happened to that soldier you're standing over? And she's like, the same thing that's going to happen to all these soldiers if we don't hurry the fuck up. What probably happened is that she killed the shit out of that guy and ate his heart or something. I don't know. In the chaos, she could get away with it. Sippy. I thought that the balcony scene was really good, and unexpected. Now he wants back in my room. Come on. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? He wanted back in. I thought the balcony scene was really good. I didn't know what to expect from that. Because I was going through blind, and I was just kind of, I was following a guide for Windowog's romance, because I heard her romance was very complicated and you had to do certain things right. But for Camellia, I was just winging it. Like I was actually doing it accidentally. I didn't know there was so much that she had a full like romance plot to her. And so when she after camping out, she approaches you. And she's like, let's discuss tactics, And she asks, what should a commander do, blah, 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 in the middle of battle or something like that. And, my character, it was in character for my character to be like, he would be in full view of everyone, leading the charge or whatever the fuck. And she was like, interesting. And then, later, I don't remember quite when, but later she'll, if you rest in Dresden, she'll come into your bedchamber with, 2 glasses of wine. And if you pass a check, you can notice that there's something different about the wine. And they're laced with invisibility potions, which I suppose it would have to be a potion of greater invisibility for what you get up to, because if you take an action with just invisibility, you lose the invisibility. But you and Camellia, you go out onto the balcony and you get busy. Let's just say that. And it was kind of funny. It's kind of funny because, like, while you're doing it on the balcony, Irabeth and will be led by some recruit, some guard. Like, I swear to God, I heard noises out here. Commander or superior, whatever the fuck she is. I don't remember Irabeth's position. And Irabeth is like, there's nothing out here. Why would you waste my time? 20 push-ups or something like that. With the implication being that, of course, you're there on that balcony. Neither of you or Camellia are wearing clothes, I assume. Or little clothes, I guess. I don't know. I suppose you could be wearing clothes. It just seems like a lot to work with. I mean, wearing all that armor, it's just a lot to get through. It'd get cold. Wouldn't it get cold? Whatever. I think that the developers here, the writers, they did a good job of of kind of showing what a relationship with a narcissist is, or a psychopath, or a sociopath. I don't quite remember the distinction between all of them. But basically, in a relationship with someone who is using you. Camellia is using you. And, I think I've heard by the end that she kind of comes to actually care about you. But, you can't make a housewife out of a psychopath. So, I think that the developers did a good job, kind of showing what that relationship dynamic is like, because, you can give to her, but she will never give to you. At least, maybe later in the romance she does, but right at the beginning of Act 5, I did everything possible, as far as I'm aware, with the Camellia Romance up until Act 5. But during Act 5, you have, like, the moment where you need to choose between, are you going to choose Camellia, or are you going to choose Windowag? Because I was pursuing a romance with both of them. I chose Windowag because, it was the original intention was to go through the Windowag romance with that playthrough. And the Camellia Romance was kind of incidental and just kind of happened. It landed in my lap. Hey, that's pretty funny, actually. Landed in my lap. I'm a fucking funny guy. One thing this is a small interaction that I really like. After you bump uglies on the balcony, you can go to Camellia, her spot in Dresden, kind of like nooked in that corner of the second terrace or something. And you can be like, you are the best thing to ever happen to me. I'm so glad I've met you. I'll do anything for you. Will you please tell me when we will meet next and all that? And she just kind of like doesn't reciprocate at all. She just says, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And you can just simp for her, which is really funny. That, you can play. I was playing this really, like, strong, big knight commander who's kind of like not necessarily noble because he's going down the trickster route. But he takes himself semi-seriously. It's just funny that the character, the player, can be a simp for an NPC through your actions, which is really, really good. And, like, the game acknowledges and gives you a channel through which to do that. It's just really good. And the last thing I have here is she just wants a new person to protect her. That's kind of something I realized as I was playing through again. She just wants another person to protect her. She doesn't need Horgus Gwyrm anymore, because, like, she has you. She needed Horgus Gwyrm before because, Horgus Gwyrm had all this power, and prestigious family name, to protect her and keep her dealings and her killings secret. But now that she has the Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade protecting her, that's she's basically untouchable, because like the Knight Commander is the most powerful person, probably, I don't know, I wouldn't say on Galarian, but like is extremely influential, probably more influential than the Queen herself, at least in Mindev. I think that's the country name. So that's kind of my thoughts on Camellia. Oh, and she's great. I always have her around. Love her dialogue. Only thing I don't like about her is that she's mean to Ember. Next slide. Windowog Romance. It's really good. I'm a big fan. The steps, though, are very easy to miss. Very easy to miss. The dead trader lady, I forget her name. If that wasn't in the guide, I never would have done it. Because it's not a quest. It doesn't come up as an errand. It's just a thing you kind of have to do. You just kind of have to go and talk to Soul, and then you have to pass a perception check. Or you have to, I think you have to go find the body, which I think is in the graveyard. I don't quite remember where it is. And then you need to pass a perception check a little behind Windowog on the side of that house. Off to Windowog's, from her direction where she's facing. It would be off to her right. And you go around the corner of the house. And then you need to pass a perception check to find a nook in the wall. And, you read the book and all that. And then you just need to give it back to her. And that's very, like, I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. And that triggers one of the true romance flags for Windowog's Romance. I have here as my third point that turning her good, quotation marks, was rewarding. I wrote this slide like three days ago or something. I don't remember when I tried to record this. I think it was 3 days ago. I'd probably phrase that a different way. I'd say you're kind of turning her better. And even then, turning her better is just an in credit slide. It's just an in credit sequence, where you like a sentence gets changed. I think it's 2 sentences. You get 2 sentences in the end slide, but still, it's really good. I thought it was very rewarding, where through your actions and showing her mercy, and being there for her, you can get her to open up and actually care for you, and not just be violent, submissive, master relationship, kind of BDSM relationship thing you have going on, and have it be an actual like love relationship type thing. I really thought that her dislike of kisses was really good. There are several times you can attempt to kiss her or like ask what she thinks of kissing, and she's like, they're disgusting. I would have moved this fucking bullet point here. Oh god, formatting, am I right? Her trying to revive the commander though with a kiss is really cute after the commander takes Savamalik's poison. And is on the ground like fucking convulsing or some shit. And Windowog's like, what the fuck can I do? I can't do anything. As though Daeron isn't like, 30 feet that direction. Can't like call him over. Just cast like restoration or heal or some shit. But that's just whatever. It's just the plot of that moment. But her trying to revive the commander with a kiss is really funny. And it's cute. And I think that that's a very sweet moment, a rare, like, Windowog being kind of vulnerable, which is really good. I didn't mention this here. I don't have it on my bullet points, but there's a moment, where you're in Alushanira, when you first get to Alushanira, and you get to that, Bad Luck Tavern, and Windowog will kind of interrupt your conversation with the tavern master or whatever, when you try to buy things from him, and says, let's take a break, like, and drink and celebrate the things that we've done, for just being alive this far. which makes enough sense. You know, her kind usually lives like 30 years or some shit. Every day's a party as far as she's concerned. Um, and, you know, as she's drinking and getting more drunk and inebriated, you kind of see her open up a bit. And in that I think the last dialogue thing she says to you is like, you'll be kind to me, won't you? You'll take care of me. And it's that like a vulnerability showing there of like, you know, she's so used to putting up a front and like being tough, and strong, and she's very obsessed with strength. That when that veneer or like persona drops, it kind of shows that she's like, she's fucking terrified, or just she really wants someone to care about her. I'd have to play through that scene again to comment further on that, but I just really remember that moment, and I thought it was very sweet, and that was a really good touch, and I'm glad that that's in the game. I think that makes her romance a lot more natural if you've gone through that scene with her. Now, another good moment, perhaps one of Windwog's best moments, unironically, no cap, for real, is when she fucking murders two people in the tavern that are like rude to her or something. They dishonor her, and then, you know, Irabeth, she comes to get you, and she's like, you need to fucking handle the situation, because she's gonna fucking keep killing people unless you go and handle this. You know, you're the only person that can stop her, basically. And so you go to the tavern, she's standing over the bodies of these two guys, and she's, you know, drunkenly shouting, like, none of you bitches can fucking touch me. I'm goddamn untouchable. I'm the fucking commander's floozy. You know, he fucks me every night or some shit like that. I don't know. But she, like, goes off on it. And what you're supposed to do to continue her romance is you're supposed to not admonish her. You're supposed to say, I will handle this in private. When do I come with me? And she'll kind of like shout out like, yeah, see what I mean, bitches, you can't touch this. And you can take her to your quarters, and you take her to your quarters, and there you bone, basically. Afterwards, she'll kind of open up a bit, or I don't remember if it was before or after. I think beforehand you can say like, no, I'm actually mad with you, and that will end the romance, because that's Windwog is like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't remember exactly this moment. I don't remember it quite precisely, but I really love that dynamic, and I wish there was more of that in the game, of like people using their relationship with the commander to get out of trouble, or to try and get away with things. Camellia does do this, but it's a lot more subtle with her. I guess not more subtle. It's pretty fucking blatant. But as far as I remember, it's like 2 times or something. It's very interesting when your companions do that. I wish Windwog did it more. I wish she got in more trouble. I wish there was another scene. Maybe she, doesn't kill a person, but she like does another bad thing. But she already has 2 scenes like that, like with the stolen knife and the killing people in the tavern. I'd have to think more about that. Whatever. We're gonna keep moving here. But I wish there was more of that in the game, of people trying to use their connection with the commander to get out of trouble. Windwog is really good. Oh, you can't see the last thing there. I'm gonna move myself aside here. She's still a bad person. Like, she's still awful in her, ways. But you can turn her slightly less shitty through your actions. She's not completely irredeemable, like a certain other companion that I did not complete the parentheses for. So that's a big L on my part. The certain other companion I'm talking about is Camellia, by the way. Okay, next slide. So, this is talking about the secret ending. Ascending to demigodhood was really, really, really good. I loved this. I think that um, oh man, I really got my bullet points all backwards here. We're gonna we're gonna start with this one. The steps to ascend are very obscure and required guides. I like that actually. I really like that it's not easy and it's not the default ending of the game. For you to ascend to demon lord equivalent power, right? Excuse me. Um, I thought the steps are pretty good actually. Um, I think the normal ending of the game is already quite rewarding. That ascending to demigodhood is just a really good, cool bonus. I mean, like, you already, if, depending on your ending of the game, if you live in your ending, which there are certain endings where you don't live, like the Trickster Mythic Path, I think. I didn't even talk about that. Trickster Mythic Path ending, I didn't like it very much. I'll just say that. But in the Trickster Mythic Path ending, I think you die. You, like, throw yourself into the world wound and turn it into the world portal, or whatever the fuck, the path between worlds. And, I mean, the ending's fine. It's just not necessarily something I like. Although it does make sense for what it is. I digress. You already live at the end, and you're gonna live for, like, if you're a human, like, you already are probably gonna live forever or some shit. Like, the power, you already have mythic power. Arilu Vorlesh was a human, and she held up pretty well for the past 100 years or whatever. And she's just going off. She's the equivalent of, like, mythic power 10, I'd say, mythic level 10. So ascending to demigodhood is just a cool bonus. I think the steps are cool. I don't entirely get the whole, like, I think you kind of persuade Arilu Vorlesh that you're almost like, you're basically her child, or like you're not her child, but you are, like, all spiritually her child or something. I don't know. It's a little complicated, and I don't want to get too lost in the weeds on that here, as we're already 42 minutes into this shit. It felt good to kind of flex mythic level 10, because in the normal, if you're doing a normal playthrough, you reach mythic level 10 right at that moment in threshold. Basically before the last fight of the game, from what I remember. Right before the last fight, you reach mythic level 10. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do. You fight Arilu Vorlesh, probably stomp her, as I did my first playthrough. Probably fucking curb stomp her. I did lower the difficulty in my first playthrough, but whatever. But in this playthrough, I fucking curb stomped her on mythic 10 at the final. On daring. I, destroyed her. And then, it felt good to have another thing to fight. And it felt cool killing those two demon lords again. And really killing them. They're gone dead forever. That's awesome. Love it. So it felt good to kind of flex that a little bit more. And I wish that you got Mythic 10 when you, like, enter Threshold. When you enter into the the final dungeon, like, before you kill the Echo of Discari, or just Discari if you didn't kill Discari when you first fought him. I am talking in circles here. I had to skip. I will say, I'm a cheater. I did it. I cheated. I used Toybox to skip, like, 7 months in game, because you have to enter Threshold on a certain day, like the 15th, or no, the 17th, the 16th to 21st of Gosrin, which is, like, the third or fourth month on the Pathfinder calendar. I don't remember. I did that to save me time from just clicking skip day over and over and over, and fighting all these different armies, like, every now and then. It would just be a pain in the ass. So, like, I skipped time using Toybox, and if that disqualifies in your mind me achieving the secret ending, cry, mauled, and cope. All right, next, my general criticism of the game. I wish there was way more cutscenes and close-ups, such as meeting Nocticula and Arilu Illusionira. That first cutscene at the beginning of the game is the only cutscene, as far as I remember. It's like the only cutscene of its kind with all those camera angles. The only thing that even comes close is that moment where Iomade, materializes in front of the church in Dresden after you reclaim it. And even then, it's not as well done as that first cutscene in the game, which is really fucking cool. That cutscene is awesome. So it is a tragedy that there's not more of that. When you meet Nocticula and Arilu, the models in this game are good. I've seen, like just because my computer's dog shit and can't handle it, I've seen, people playing this game on medium or high or ultra settings. The models in this game are good enough to hold up to a medium shot or a close-up. That's a very big moment when you first meet Nocticula and Arilu. I wish the camera swoops down and, you get a look at Nocticula lazily laying in her chair when she materializes behind Arilu. Like, that shit's really cool. Wish there was more of it. Not too much more. I could go more on that, I guess, but that about sums my thoughts. I wish there was more companion banter. It's literally the best part of the game, in my opinion. One of the best parts of the game. There's more fucking mosquitoes in here. Jesus Christ. God, the son of a bitch. Let's go. I just Obama'd that mosquito. I wish there was more companion banter in the game, like asking your companions what they think, like when Jaeger asks you. When did that happen? Okay, right. First Act 2, when you're standing around the table, Jaeger, I think that's his name, the Hell Knight squire, I don't remember his position, he'll come to you and he'll ask, like, can you save our, save my squad, we're in trouble, we're getting fucked up by gargoyles. You can ask, what do my companions think of this? And everyone will say something. Sela will be like, fuck them, let them die. Or, Winduag will say, like, competent fighters, whatever. I think that's what she says. I don't remember. But I wish there were more moments like that. I know that there's the council meetings, or like, with the war council and the logistics council and all that. And you can ask what they think there. But that's just not the same. I wish that throughout the game, especially like a perfect example of this, when you're choosing your mythic path again for the second time, you can ask your companions, what do you guys think I should do? And half of them are like, I think more than half of them say abandon your power. And Daeron has an excellent dialogue moment there. Like, that's another one of my favorite lines in the whole game. Even when I am standing in Pharasma's court, I will tell everyone about this that will listen. Something like that. He says something to that effect. Really good moment. I want more of that. I want companion banter. I want them to fucking interrupt you if you say something that they don't want, like, you to do. I want them to argue with you in the middle of things. I wish there was more of that. And there is some of that. There's just not enough. I love the companions. They all have great personalities, aside from Socio. And I want more of them. Daeron is easily the most entertaining character to have around. He's probably my favorite companion character-wise. Story-wise, probably Arushale or Camellia. But Daeron is just great to have around. His quips are always funny. I love his sarcasm. He's such a fucking asshole, and he doesn't give a shit. He could care less what you think of him. Although he does care what you think a little bit, I think. Also, I think I accidentally led Daeron on for a bit because he kept flirting with me and, like, fucking giving me like he put a bath in my room in my quarters at Dresden, and then he tried to take me on a balcony date, and he put like flowers in the council room. I think I kept leading him on accidentally. Well, it was accidental for a bit, but then it was intentional because I wanted to see what would happen. And it's kind of funny that he tries to like buy your love with all these extravagant gifts. That's pretty good. So, no, I'm gonna get to some criticism. This is actual criticism. Like, this is, they really need to work on this. Hopefully for their next game. The Shield Maze is a fucking disaster for new players. I like that dungeon. I think it's good. But for people new to CRPGs, it's a fucking hell. It's rough. I have a friend who's new to CRPGs. He likes the original Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2. So I thought, okay, well, he should have a pretty good time. It shouldn't be too hard making it through. But the Shield Maze, he had no idea where the fuck to go. Because there's you have to read a note or pass a perception check to find a hidden torch, activate the torch, go down there, not die the whole time, find a key on someone, I don't remember where, and then open a door that it's just not good. Now I should say I like the dungeon, but I think for new players, I think that they should have changed the flow of the Shield Maze a little more. Oh god, I'm in front of the text again. I'll just move it when we get there. Mythic ranks should be spread way more throughout Act 5. They're way too front loaded. I think you literally can get to Mythic Quest, Mythic level 9, immediately, almost at the start of Act 5 with your Mythic Quest. And those Mythic levels, they come at you fast at that point. I think you get one Mythic level throughout Act 4, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember. The first 3 Mythic levels you get are Act 1 and 2, which is fine. Act 3, I think you can get up to 5, maybe 6, I'm not sure. But at the end of Act 4, beginning of Act 5, it's you meet Nocticula and Arilu. There you go. You just got Mythic level. You defeat Baphomet, Mythic level. And then you free Dresden again, Mythic level. That's 3 Mythic levels, just boom, 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 right there. Probably, it makes sense to be getting a Mythic level, after you defeat Baphomet. Story-wise, it makes sense to get a Mythic level after you meet Arilu, and it makes sense to get a Mythic level after you clear Dresden. I don't know how they could have spread it a little more, but it just felt I've reached Mythic level 9, now I'm level 20, 2 hours into Act 5, and, it just feels like they could have spread that a little more. Frankly, just the less time, the more spread out my time is spent staring at character spreadsheets, level spreadsheets, and theory crafting builds and figuring out spells, the better. I want that a little more spread out, so hopefully in their next game they kind of, whatever thing they've got going on, they learn that lesson there. But still, I think it's bad that their Mythic levels are very stacked there. Although the sudden, increase in power, it's a good feeling. Characters' best moments should not be hidden behind romances. This is especially for Winduag. Winduag has great writing. I've read people online saying Winduag has terrible writing, and then you find out they didn't romance her at all, and that's her best writing. She's got great moments. I think that the moment with the tavern, that could have happened and you not have sex and there not be a sexual overtone. It could have been instead, I'm the commander's main squeeze. It could have been I'm the commander's companion, you can't fucking touch me, or something like that. And that moment should still be able to happen even if you're not romancing her. With Camellia, a lot of her moments, I think it does make sense that you would have to be romancing her for her to, she could be fucking dead, you could have killed her. So I don't know. I feel like her best moments are just out in the open. That moment in Illusioneer where you go down there and it's Horgesquirm, great moment. Where you go down in the basement and there's Camellia standing over the body, excellent moment. Gathering the people, Adder Manor, killing all of them. Excellent moment. All, her best moments are actually, you don't have to search for them. And I'd argue same for Arushale. There are some good moments there that aren't hidden. But I guess this specifically goes for Windwag and that moment with the tavern. That shouldn't be locked behind a romance. I think that was just that's unnecessary. And this is last thing here. I'm gonna move myself to the side. One thing I actually really liked here, I don't know why this isn't necessarily criticism, this is just kind of a thing now I think about it. Yo, dude, I actually just got the whole thing to fit. I'm a fucking goat, bro. Your choice of God actually does have minor impacts on the story, and this is really, really good, and I want there to be more of this in their next, game, whatever they end up making. Dude, look, I can drag myself around. Holy shit, I just man discovered how OBS works in real time. Like for my last character, I played an atheist. The mutation warrior fighter trickster thing I'm talking about right now. I played an atheist, and when you're talking to Ember, you can say it's people like you and me, atheists. We see how the world works. We're really, we have our shit together. We know what we're doing, and she'll comment on that. And there's a few other moments, small moments, where you can, your religion, you can talk about it. The first character I played, he worshipped Caden Kalian, the ascended one, or whatever, the risen one, the god of ale. When you're doing that first tavern, or when you're doing the big tavern defense thing where like all the cultists, they attack and you have to kill the Minotaur and they're trying to burn down different parts of the defenses before the assault begins. You can toast. You can be like, we're in a tavern, Caden Kalian or whatever the fuck, I don't remember the line. This is raise a toast, let's down one. And you can drink before the battle begins, and you get a +1 to your AC saves and attack rolls for like 5 minutes or something during the battle. That's a really good moment there, and I'm sure there's a bunch of moments like that, depending on what god you worship. I'd actually be curious to see if you worship Desna, and you do a Arushale Romance, I wonder if there's specific things that happen there. Let's move on to the next slide. Oh my god, there's more? I thought I was done. I can't wait for the DLC, I guess. Can I? I guess I can't wait. What did I write here? DLC 1 imports character and continues their story, defending space-time. Right, okay, I remember. I was reading through the season pass for this game, and I saw the DLC that they're planning, and the DLC looks really, 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 really good. Or at least I like the idea of it. Space time, whatever, you have to defend the galaxy or some shit. I don't know. It sounds cool. I'm sure I can't wait for the DLC, but it's getting really hot in here. I can't wait to turn the fan back on. So we're gonna try to hurry through a little bit. Next playthrough itinerary. Right, this is actually what I'm doing right now. Save Trevor and get Social's true ending. Unfortunately, fellas, not gonna happen. I don't know why I wrote that. I'm playing a demon playthrough, as you can see right here. I'm playing a demon. I am bringing Regal with me everywhere. I am playing a Grenadier Alchemist. Because, I don't know, I've always wanted to play an Alchemist in these games. It just seems kind of fun. I know you can do a, what's it called? I know you can do a mercenary and just have them be an alchemist, but there's no fun in that. So, main character Alchemist. Full romance Camellia, because I really want to see more of her route, and I'm going to try to beat the game on core. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to, because I got to the ghoul room. If you've played the game on core, you know what I'm talking about. The ghoul room in the attack on the assault of the thing, Blackwing, not the Blackwing Library, but the Grey Garrison, assault of the Grey Garrison. You know what the ghoul room is. Ghoul room has beat me, and I cannot... I couldn't do it, so I lowered it to daring. Lich Myth. Oh my god, fuck! I forgot about this, dude. Okay, so you can stop watching now if you really want to, but I fucking saw what happens when you select the Lich Mythic path for the second time, if you're doing a full Lich playthrough, dude, that shit's fucked up, bro. Like, okay, so if you don't know, you gotta leave now because this is spoiler shit, bro. But like, if you're doing the Lich Mythic path, I think I kind of just put together the context clues. I didn't see first, I don't know specifically. But you sacrifice, I think, the 9th level mythic quest to get to 9th level mythic power. You have to sacrifice one of your loved ones. And like the character, if you've been romancing someone, you have to sacrifice them. You have to fucking kill them. And I saw the text of the text that would play if you sacrifice a Ruchelet, and it made my fucking heart break. It was awful. Oh my god, it made me so sad because she's like, you know how much I care for you. You can't, this can't be you. This can't be real. And oh my god, it's just fucking heartbreaking. Although I'd love to see that text. I would love to see that with Camellia. If you sacrifice Camellia, because frankly, that bitch has it coming. Because she's a fucking terrible person in real life. As a character in a game, she's fascinating and I love her. But in real life, she's fucking garbage, awful, and I would have killed her in Dresden when I found if like I was the actual Knight Commander, I probably would have killed her in Dresden. Yeah, she's standing over that body. At least if you put 2 and 2 together, you find out she's actually just doing these murders because she likes to kill. Yeah, probably would have killed her there. But I think this is the last slide. Yeah, okay, so this is the last slide. I didn't mention this. I want to go back. I don't even know how I got off the track. Okay, so I want to go back to the Windowag Romance because I forgot to mention. I thought it was really exciting. I thought her I'm talking about Camellia. What am I doing? Holy shit, the brain rot is real. I meant to talk about Camellia. Please disregard my previous 30 seconds there. I thought her scenes with the her sex stuff was really exciting. I thought that was good stuff. And I think I don't think a lot of games, a lot of developers, writers would have the testicular fortitude to do that shit. Because like the fucking over all these dead bodies and shit, like when you kill the thing or the slave in Elutionira who looks like Horgus Worm, you just fuck right after over the dead body, and like it's incredible that the developers put that in the fucking game. So I really applaud that. And I thought all that was very like exciting. I got really excited about that because I was like, oh my god, there's no way you'd ever see stuff like that in like other games or media. It was so cool. A lot of the Windowag Romance stuff was also really good. Oh, that moment with what is it? After I'm forgetting the name of the demon, but the stinger guy, he's got the big stingy, and he stings the people or whatever. But after that quest, in chapter 4, holy shit, I got a pee so bad. I'm trying to fucking blaze through this shit. After chapter 4, after all that, and you can with Windowag back at the Nexus, you can patch her up. She kind of takes you off aside and says like, hey, can you patch me up or whatever. And there's a specific comment that really stuck in my mind. She says, right before you get down and jiggy with it, she says, I don't want to play with power this time. And afterwards she says like it felt different, it felt good, in a way that I hadn't experienced before. And I thought that was really interesting. That's a very interesting remark for her to make, because it, I don't know, you derive a lot of like her past and like her attitude towards a lot of things from that comment, and that like sex for her is just a power thing, which is not to say that it isn't, that she doesn't enjoy it, but that it's very like, you know, a lot of that enjoyment is wrapped up in the power dynamic and like the BDSM aspect of it, which there's nothing wrong with if that's your thing. But she'd never even tried, just like, you know, I don't know, she's never been, you know, so attached to someone, or felt such a connection with someone to do it in a way that doesn't involve power. Holy shit, dude, I'm fucking sweating so fucking hard right now, dude. So that's all. I'd probably have more to say, but I'm like, I know you can't tell, but I'm fucking sweating so hard. Wearing a sweatshirt was a bad idea. I got pajama pants on. Holy shit. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I don't know, have a good day. What do YouTubers say at the end of videos? See you later. Wouldn't want to see you. Wouldn't want to be here, or something like that. Okay, whatever. Take it easy.